Sorry for
All
the
right.
lateness, everybody, but welcome to the Parts Unknown, known as the Clem and Claw Show. Second and fourth Mondays of every month, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to go ahead and say that now. 8:30 Central Standard Time and 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. People, family business, things got to get done. But other than that,
Yeah.
all the people he was talking to, Dog, Sweet Fights, Mike, we want to, shout out to all of y'all because I'm glad you kept my man company because I was running late. My fault. But other than that, we were supposed to have some guests, but they'll show
No,
up eventually.
yes, they're going to show up.
They're
They'll
going to
be
show up
here
eventually. It's a
in
miscommunication
about
in
10
time.
minutes.
But
Yes.
other than that, it's been an interesting week.
Let the
I
world
know
go
there's two
round.
cat fights I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to hand it over to my man Claus. What you saying,
Yeah.
boss?
Yes, because it's like, ladies and gentlemen, he's back. So yay, Paul. See, I went
Yes,
there.
I'm back.
So we held it down while you was going. You know what? Next time, I'm just going to tell all of our guests. I'm going to give it to the time in Shanghai. Maybe they'll show up. Shanghai is 12 hours behind Eastern, so maybe I do it Shanghai time. I just say Shanghai. They're like, wow, because it's like it's going to be relative to where you are. Okay, fine. But anyway, I'm happy to be here, happy to be back. I'm more concerned. I want to see our people back, so I want to see Mike and Sweet Fights. You know, they'll be waiting patiently, so I'm sure they'll be jumping in. But I told them 10:45 Eastern that we were going to start. But first and foremost, I talked about the Kim Chi fight. I did not divulge the result, but the one thing I will say is because I was in the midst of doing so much stuff, I was able to finally squeeze in and watch it. I will say this: given the injuries that Kim Chi was reported to have had, I'm happy to see her come back in some kind of competitive fashion.
Yep.
And the fact that she was able to do it and make it through the match and perform well, I got to give her credit for that. I think she's as the wrestling folks would say, she's back, in my opinion. In the case of
Yes.
Laura,
Mhm.
I had not seen her in the kind of competitive fashion. That woman got deltoids, man. Her
Yep.
lats, not deltoids, I mean her lats. Her lats.
Mhm.
I was like, for somebody of her size, I've never seen lats like that.
Dang. Wow.
Like the only person I could think of is maybe Kelly Provocateur. And
Yep.
even then, I don't remember it like that on this. I was like, wow. I'm like, Jesus. You know. But the match was better. The match picked up more than I thought. At one point, I thought both ladies were going. It's kind of a fitness thing because it's like, especially when you got Kim Chi having done a competitive fight in so long, you wonder is she gonna be able to pull it off? But her conditioning, but she caught a second win and did well. I think both girls did well. I know Mike, and I said this when he was on here earlier. I don't know if he's back, but I said that I know his favorite tactic. We all know his favorite tactic, but
Yep. Yep.
it
Yep.
was done plenty. I think in good abundance, more than I thought it would.
Mm.
Yeah, so it definitely was something. I'll let you get your thoughts on it.
I haven't seen it. I saw the clip though, but I agree with you. I
You
haven't
haven't
really.
seen it? Oh, I thought you
No, I
seen
didn't
it,
buy it
man.
because I wasn't thinking of that one. I was saving up my money for the other ones coming up. The next one
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
Your guy said he's back.
Yep. Man.
Your guy Mike says he's back.
Yep. So thank you, Mike. Thank you for
Welcome
coming
back.
back in. Welcome
Yeah,
back.
I
Welcome
didn't
back.
really see that
Or
one. The one I
Deuce.
want to.
The
Yeah.
Deuce.
The one I want to see, the one I want to talk about was what you call it, the Mike Rodolfo's one, which was awesome from the clip I saw between Santana and what's her name, Columbia Rose. That was interesting.
Oh,
He said it was much more aggressive than the first one, so that tells me that's what he said.
mhm.
So that's what his words, not mine.
Okay, cause I'm still waiting on my copy. Like I
I
ain't
saw the
finished.
clip. I saw the 47-second
Right.
clip of
I
it.
saw,
So
yeah, I saw the clip thing, and I was like, oh, okay. But it's just to me, it's like until
yeah,
I see in a flow of, I'm more of a flow of ebb and
me
flow
too.
guy.
Yeah,
You know, you
same.
can make anybody excited with the 90-second clip, 2-minute clip, but
True.
I want to see the ebb and flow, your stamina, your mat awareness, your and I um and I think for Laura, I will say this kind of piggyback. I think her mat awareness when she competes against Reagan, that's going to be a step up. I mean, Kim Chi
Mm.
ain't no chopped liver now,
No, but Reagan's another
but
level.
I think Reagan's another notch and a half up on the ladder.
Exactly.
So it's like bring your Wheaties in. But I think Laura seeing the match, I can formulate a game plan to where I put it this way, having seen this, I can see where Laura could win or be successful against Reagan.
Mm.
I'm not gonna go out on a limb and say she will win.
I'm not either.
I won't go out, I won't go on that limb. But I can see where on you know how it is on that day.
Yeah,
On that day,
on that
if
day.
you ain't ready, you can get caught. So
Yep.
on the day, I can see a strategy where Laura, even as raw as she is now on the catfighting side, could go in and if not outright shock the world and win. I'm trying to think this month, what would have been more shocking? Pacquiao losing, CM Punk coming back, Brock Lesnar showing up, Becky Lynch winning in 26 seconds, which I'm still mad at that. Or
Me too.
Laura beating Reagan. I don't know what would be the most shocking.
Laura being Reagan would be shocking because, as we all know, Reagan is very, as we all know, very established, very experienced in this game. And Laura's, fairly new. We all know that about her mixed wrestling background, session wrestling background. But if she's able to beat Reagan, she'll got my attention.
Well, this is the other
I
thing
think
I think
highly
we
of
have
Reagan.
to. Yes, but I think there's something else we have to add to this, Clem. The fact that, and especially the fact that Reagan will be coming off of producing her first cat fight,
Correct.
and the mental energies
Correct.
that my first couple of ones, I was more tired mentally than I was physically, and the
Okay.
more I started making them, the more then the physical tiredness
Okay.
started catching up to it, to
Okay.
where it was like I'm just so worn out. Sometimes you could get to a point where you're so worn out, you almost don't even want to do it
Got you.
because you start thinking about how tired you're going to be once you're done doing it.
Okay.
And that's me as producing it. I'm not even a participant.
Right.
So to go from where you're going to be producing your first one to now, then got to turn around. Now I think she'll probably be still on the high because depending on how I go. But I think she'll be on a high from producing the first one and then just jumping straight in to being a participant. But it's going to pull something out of you because you have to be the one to think of all the logistics. The
Mm.
girls, the talent don't. I think she'll have gained a greater appreciation. And I would say that for any fighter. I think any fighter who becomes a producer becomes have a greater appreciation for what the producers go through.
Mm.
Just it. It's like sometimes you like, and I'm not sure if Sweet Fights is back on here or whatever. And this is somewhere I don't know if it was Tilly, if you had truth still, But I would think for her, like if she was to do a fight for Sweet Fights, or Sarah Brooke was to do a fight for Sweet Fights, I would think they would just relish and enjoy the fact that I can come and do what I really love to do, which is fight, and not have to think about all the other logistics that you
Mm.
would have to as a producer. But in the event something happens, something changes up, like it always does in production, you would be more sympathetic and you'd be more willing to roll with the punches because you get it. Because it's like, you know, you hitting the moose on the way to the airport. You know,
Right.
That will always be an all-time favorite for me.
Right.
You know, or some of this, there's always could be something
Mm.
that will pop through. Um, so that's why I say I think they may, and that's something I'll ask, Tilly or any of them once we get them on the next time they're on, and ask them that when you now go back as talent, do you almost kind of relish that? All I got to do is show up and fight. Show up,
Mm-hmm.
make sure I have my little makeup or whatever I'm gonna wear, and show up and fight. I ain't got to worry about the logistics, getting folks to and from, and collecting the money, and all. I just get to show up, fight, get back. God bless you, and then go back to the house.
By the way, fans, you'll get an inside view of what being a producer entails tonight.
Yes, yes.
We get
So
a tutorial, people.
yeah, so this would be interesting for Reagan because he's about a week out. Yeah, a week out.
Yep.
Um, did she say? I don't remember. Did she say she's going to do this one Jitsi? I can't remember.
Yeah, she said this fight between Peyton and Jane is on Jitsi Meat.
Done
Yes.
it is on Jitsi. Okay, so
She's going the same route. She's going the same route as her mentor, Tilly. So I guess
okay,
that's because Tilly's one is also on Jitsi Meat. Those two are both on Jitsi Meat.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, her and
So
Laura's on Jitsi Meat too. So there's that.
okay. Well, I was just wondering because that yeah. So let's see, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have on the stage, speak of the angel, Miss Janae.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Janae, can you hear us?
Hi, yes, it's Janai. I can hear you. Can you?
Janai. Oh
Is it
my
Janai?
God. Janai.
Yeah, we were told that it was Janae. So is it Janai now?
It's Janai. I'm sorry. It's okay.
Lord, we didn't. But one thing you
Okay.
gotta, as they said in what was the movie Clem Coming to America. Hey, Mama call him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Miss Janai.
Janai to the show.
Janai to the show. Applause.
Applause. We have no
applause.
clapper. We just clapping.
Yeah. Yes. We don't have applause.
Okay, Miss
Yes,
Janai, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you guys doing?
Yes. Welcome to the Claus and Clem show. Like I said, we catfight producers, enthusiasts, and
Welcome to the Parts Unknown too. I forgot to
Parts
say
Unknown. Welcome to Parts Unknown. That's what we call it. Because in like WWE wrestling, that's what they always be like. Where are you from? Parts Unknown. So
Yeah.
that's what. Yeah. So of course, enough about us. We want to hear more about you.
Yeah, more about you, please.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
like you said.
what? I guess I'll start with the first question. What got you interested in wanting to try this?
Well, I've always been interested in fitness. I've always been into the fitness world, working out, doing physical activities. I've done boxing. Um, I've just been interested in wrestling recently. So it's going to be my first cat fight. I am new. So.
Like this. And then now in this boxing, I must ask, did you get hit?
I mean, of course I got hit. You got to take a few hits and you got to throw them.
Okay.
Reagan knows this. Kyla knows this. One of my biggest pet peeves is when I'm looking for talent and they say, "Yeah, I did kickboxing."
Not kickboxing.
Because it's like, well, I get it, but you don't get hit. You don't hit. You don't spar.
Mm-mm.
I learned this the hard way when I lived overseas in Greece. I went up there and I said, "Yeah, we did kickboxing," and the guy's like, "All right, let's strap up, let's spar." I'm like, what? Y'all don't hit the bat? Like, no. Overseas, you spar. Like, what are we talking about? So, yeah. Now, how did you meet Reagan College? Was it the thing you just she put out an email blast and you saw, or y'all were mutual friends and acquaintances worked on shoots together? Or
it's a huge network circle here. So we're doing a big model house event, and I'm going to be a part of that. So one of my photographers introduced me to Kyla, and Kyla actually introduced me to Peyton. So big network circle.
and y'all are coming from Houston, Texas, correct?
Yes, I'm from Houston. Yes, that's
From
it.
Houston. I love the Galleria. I will say that's my favorite. That's my favorite area.
It's so busy.
Now, Clem is a Midwest native. He's in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma
Yeah.
City. Yes, the thriving metropolis of Oklahoma.
Okay, no problem. There's nothing much to speak here in Oklahoma, period. So, are you comfortable with the rules? Are you comfortable with the tactics that's going to be used in this
Yes,
particular fight? Because you're fighting an experienced lady and Peyton who's been doing this for a while. So,
I see. I see. But I've been watching some videos. I've been trying to, of course, prepare myself. Um, I did have some questions about like there won't be any hair pulling or anything like that, right?
oh, hair pulling is part of the cat fight, dear.
Has
Hate to tell
It
you,
to.
is?
it is
Yes.
not hair ripping. Hair pulling is part of it. It's
Okay.
in fact, it's
Yeah,
Right.
a
like
primary.
That's two different things. Yes.
okay. There we go.
It's a
Yes.
primary.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
a cat fight. No hair. There's no hair pulling in it. Period.
Yes,
So,
because that's one of the holy. What you said? The holy grail definitions of catfight is
Yeah,
what?
hair
hair
What was
pulling.
pulling,
the five things we said was hair pulling? What was it? Open hand slaps.
open hand slaps,
Oh God, what was it? I'm sure somebody. Oh, they was talking about breast and crotch attacks.
Mhm.
crotch attacks. In it depends. Depends on the girls on that.
Yeah. Don't say that to Mike. Mike was like, yes, and
I
that's
know.
the,
I know. I know. I
don't
know.
say it. Mike.
I'm
We
not saying
go
it
for
to
the
Mike. I'm just bringing
I'm
facts.
like, it's good for the goose, good for the gander. What was the breast and crotch attacks? No kicking from if one person is down.
No can get a down opponent.
Yeah,
That's the number one rule. Period.
what was the other one? Oh shoot.
Of course, in most yeah, of course, in most cat fights, you're gonna have body punches, open hand slaps. That's the normal. Hair pulling is
I know, but there
normal.
was something with the body punches. But there was one that we teetered on. It was like either body punches or it was the because we know there's no biting, there's no gouging, no biting.
No body, no
Um,
gouging, no
uh,
front chokes, no
well,
joint
some
locks.
people do choke, some people don't, and some people
Yeah,
do joint locks, and some people don't.
yeah,
Okay.
Because
yeah.
it
I
depends on your
agree.
skill level. Because if you
Yeah,
don't know what you're doing, don't do
yeah.
joint locks.
Yes,
Let's
my
just say
first
yeah.
time.
Let's just say the majority of fights don't have joint locks.
Right, and
Experienced people,
especially
then you can do that.
right, and even then, some people will argue, like Blake will argue if that's a cat fight because it's like in a cat fight.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
but we that's a whole we don't have enough time
We don't have
in
time
this
for that
interview
one.
for that. We'll go over that. What are you most looking forward to in this match?
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to the fight.
Yeah.
I'm
Ladies
looking
and gentlemen, you
forward
heard it
to
here.
it.
You heard her. I have nothing to say. Carry
Okay,
on.
let's see. From Mike, we have a question. Oh Lord,
I
Hey,
knew he was gonna
Mike.
say this. I'll read
all
it
right,
for you. Don't
ladies
worry.
and gentlemen.
I'll read it.
No.
I'll
I'm
read
gonna
it.
bring it up on screen.
So Mike
Are
says,
you?
"Are you ready for dirty tactics?" That's what he said. I'm not surprised by this question. I knew he was going to
Dirty
ask this.
tactics. What do those all entail? What you
Okay,
listed? What you were talking about?
so dirty
Oh,
tactics are anything that has to do with breast attacks or crotch attacks. Those
Oh,
are
oh,
dirty tactics. That's what
oh,
he's
I'm ready
referring
for that.
to.
I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready?
I'm
Okay.
ready for that. Definitely.
Because as you know, in wrestling, you don't see those kind of tactics. This is what we call dirty tactics or tactics that you don't see in particular sports.
you
Let's
see
leave
the
it at
look
that.
on my face. I'm looking like,
I know
oh,
you. I know. I don't blame you. I'm reading your face too. I'm saying the same
it's like,
thing.
because it's like we have like, oh yeah, I'm ready. And then when it comes time for the moment, they shrink, and they're
It's
like,
like no.
nah.
So I'm just trying.
Because
I'm just trying to see if is it. Yeah, I can't say your name right. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Janai.
Janai, you say you're
Janai.
ready, but are you really ready?
Yes, it's like you're about to walk to the fire, the
You're
baptism.
welcome. You're just
Not nothing to escape.
I'm
you
Because
are
ready.
now
Peyton and
getting a real
Reagan,
introduction into catfighting. So I
but
know that Reagan was preparing you for watching the video. So what kind of videos did you
yes,
watch? That's a question I wanted to ask. What kind of videos did you watch?
Aggressive videos. I watched the porn videos. I watched a little bit of everything. I've done lots of research here.
okay,
Okay.
we're gonna say, but just because you watch video, can you do videos?
Can you
Can't
do
do them.
these things? Watching
It's
video
like
and doing are two different things.
because it's like we sit here with the producers. You have a shot to go in and just blow the doors. And the thing is, the one thing I will say this, and I think I can speak from a producer side. Just say it, Mike. We already said it.
Just saying.
We, but I think I can speak from both a producer, but more so for the fan in me is that I, at least for me, I have come to a point. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. Is how well did you do? Because
Yep.
all 1-0 fights are not the same. You can have
Yep.
1-0 fight and you just got thrown across the floor all day long. And
Yeah.
then there's some where it's like, wow, this was really good. And maybe on the rematch, or maybe they had extra time or whatever. Who knows? So it's just the effort that we look for. We look for the effort that you try. Because everybody, you win some, you lose some, but did you get better? What did you learn from it? What can you? Because I tell you so, it's the first time you see yourself do it. If you're a perfectionist like me, you'll start kicking yourself. You'll be like, oh my God, oh, I could have did this here. I could have did it here. Mat awareness, what else what was it called? Mat awareness was one of them.
Not
There was
awareness,
another,
baby.
but there was another mat term we had. Um,
I'm trying to
being
think.
able to use the space, because I don't know
Exactly.
what kind of room or floor y'all want to have.
We don't
Being
know if
able
it's going to
to,
be. We don't know if it's going to be a puzzle piece floor. We don't know if it's going to be a regular wrestling mat floor. We don't really know per se until this thing happens.
yeah.
Really,
Okay.
Now
but yeah,
we, like I said, anytime we see a sister, full disclosure, anytime we see a sister join in, Reagan been holding the banner for
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 years,
for
for the
years, for the
longest.
longest. It is like, Lord, and my sister, because it's like if they could just get it, it's over. Jesus, it's over. Yeah.
We're looking for
So
someone to carry the mantle for Miss Reagan because we know she only has so many fights left in her before the
yeah,
time comes. So we're looking
Okay.
for someone
yeah,
to hold the mantle for a bit, at least. We're looking for emerging stars. Let me put it that way: emerging
yes,
catfight stars
definitely.
from the sisterhood, at least.
Okay.
Yes, yes. So that's why we say, oh my
And
God,
I guess you're so interested in doing it, so
Yes.
yeah.
now that you have the interest in all this other stuff, what are you expecting out of yourself? I'm just gonna say, what do you expect? I know it's a difficult question to ask, but what do you expect out of the match? Personally, I know what she wants to do, but what are you personally hoping to get out of this match fight?
Basically, just to learn from it, pretty much. To learn from it's my first time, so it'll be my first experience, and it's gonna be like, okay, this is what you did the first time, so next time you're gonna do this, and you're gonna nail it,
There we go.
you know.
That's what I was looking for.
Because I
Perfect.
didn't
Yeah.
really know that she was like the reigning champ, but but hey, new information.
Mm.
No.
Well, for her size, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We have this thing called the grade 8, where
Mm.
we have a fourth.
Mhm.
We have a fourth. I think we have a fourth, right? Or is she
Uh,
third?
she's third now. She might
She's
be
third.
even. She's
Third.
third now. She was fourth.
She's
She's
third.
third now because there's some people that haven't done anything in about 6 months. So I'm just
So we
pushing
kind of
people
moved up.
through.
We kind of moved
So
up.
basically, the top eight is basically head to head. Well, head to head is the last thing. The most important thing is we want to see your performance, how you do against the people you're going against in that group, right? If such and such, if you win, nice. You don't win, whatever. We don't penalize people for that. People don't understand that when it comes to these head-to-head things, this is a tournament type of thing. Think of it like an NCAA tournament where one team is playing another team, and if you win,
One
you
play
move on to the
8,
next one.
3 play 6.
Three play
Yeah.
6, two play 7, 1 and 8, 4 and 5. It's
Yeah,
not like
and
who's the best or who's all that stuff. Some of these, some
right,
of my
because a lot
fans,
of
they get
times,
that.
and I guess because of the society we live in,
Yeah,
we just think that, oh, if I'm ranked number 8, then that 7 girls is better than me. Not
no,
necessarily. If we stated it as a tournament, you would probably have to. You see what I'm saying? It is kind of
yeah.
more of that mind state versus just looking at it up and down. You want to look at it more horizontal. So,
And like you said,
um,
if you want to be the best, you got to beat all the people in front of you anyways. So it
right.
doesn't matter.
So either way, you
But the
show up, kick butt, take names. But one thing
That's
she
it.
said, Clem, that I thought it was very important, because my number one question I always ask, especially after your first fight, what did you learn from your first fight that you hope that apply to your second?
Me too. I ask
So
this question a lot. I learned that from you. I asked that a lot.
yeah,
I got
so
that
I
from
would
you.
say, regardless of what the result is, don't. I would say don't go too high or too low. Just be like, okay, well, boom, I've been through it. 'Cause once you go through it once, and I think Peyton after, I don't know if you saw, and Mike might add, I'm surprised he asked this one. If you saw the actual fight with Peyton and Reagan, I
Reagan.
don't know if you saw
I
that
think
fight.
I have no.
Okay. where they fought, because that's definitely baptism by fire. But that you get more of an idea of what you're going into. But it's more of a thing of, for Peyton, like, she knows the drill. It's like sometimes when you get baptized like that, it's like, okay, now I know I can sharpen up here, sharpen up there, do this, do that. So that's what we'll be kind of interested to see. And you strike me as the type of chick, she don't get scared easily. You don't strike me as that person that you get scared easily. Are you a Texas fan by chance?
Not really a Texans fan. I like the Steelers.
Steelers? How? Not saying, I'm not saying nothing bad about the Steelers. I'm just finding, I'm kind of shocked that the Steelers fans in Texas.
Well,
but then again, I got Steelers fans in Oklahoma too, so it's okay.
Yeah, so he's a Cowboys fan. So
I'm a Cowboy fan, man.
Okay.
I thought Reagan only hung with Saints fans. I'm a Saints fan, so
and he's a Saints fan.
So that's why
we're all different.
The Saints is a good team, also.
Yeah, we got to find a quarterback. You know, so
you'll
so
find
far he's supposed to be doing well.
You're fine. You got a good head coach. You're fine. I'm not worried about your head coach. Your quarterbacks just need to execute. You got the players, man. Not like you don't have any players, man.
Well, I mean, I think for the Steelers, I think if what's his name, Haskins, keep developing well, I think he would he could be that successor of Ben, because that's the biggest thing the Steelers need. Ben only got one more year. That's it.
Yeah.
Let me see another, going back to fighting related questions. I guess, where would you like to go fight? It's kind of hard to ask you who would you want to fight next, because you ain't fought. First thing is you got. Huh?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know anyone yet.
Right, you don't know anybody yet. But is there anywhere where you would like to go to fight, or like, or it's like, look, have skills will travel. Whoever make the call, ring the phone. All right, I'll pick up the answer. Be like Equalizer.
Pretty much. I like to travel. I've been to Oklahoma. I have family in Oklahoma.
You have?
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
Nowhere in particular. I want to leave the U.S. Make that happen. Make that happen.
Yes, because I know I'm in Virginia, Virginia Beach. So we got the beach out here, 35 miles of beach. So I've been saying one of these days I'm gonna produce a beach cat fight. I've been dreaming of having two sisters to do a beach cat fight, and that never happens. So the hair, because nobody wanted to get sand.
Yeah, when it comes to the sisters, they do not like their hair.
Know that. We know. So it's like,
unfortunately, this is part of the business of catfighting. Unfortunately, so we all know sisters don't like having their hair pulled and all this other stuff, and aggression and some other stuff.
Right, but when you know that it's a tactic that it can be used against you, that's where it. Oh my God, that's a whole tactic. I'm more of the mental tactic and strategy of
I agree.
More so than the physical stuff. Okay, then mentally, where are you at? You know,
as fans, we don't understand mental. Most of us, we think of physical, but you're right. It's more. Catfighting is more of a mental thing. If you can break someone's mental will, you pretty much beat them.
Yeah.
Over time.
Yes, over time. Have y'all agreed to attire for the match by chance?
Oh, you saw my question. That's what I was thinking. Go ahead.
Oh, Clem, come on.
Come on, go ahead. You okay? No problem.
Is that bikini?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it was asking you, have you decided on a time range, like 2 10-minute rounds, 3 5-minute rounds?
A time. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'll say attire. I was
okay. I know you said attire. I'm talking about time now.
Well,
okay. I don't think me and Kylie discussed the time yet. No, the times.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just say you'll be ready and loaded. Just be loaded for bear, regardless.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I would say, if I can coach one thing, don't be the one where you try to be the superhero to where it's like, if you know you caught and you can't get out, you spend so much energy and so much time trying to get out, versus when you could have did a quick tap and submission and then reset and then go. Because this is not UFC, where once you do that one tap, then some producers do have that, but that's all in the rules. You got to kind of think it's game theory. It's like, okay, I got caught. All right, if I can't get out in 30 seconds, all right, whatever. And just try, versus You
Okay.
spend a lot of time in life. That's something to me. I'd be like, what are you doing? If you know you can't get out, there's certain holes. Once you get stuck, it's like, all right, well, come on,
Right,
let's
that's it.
go.
He is
So
right. We
I
see too.
can,
Yeah, he's exactly right. We've seen too many fighters get caught in a hold, and they're too stubborn to give up, and then waste more energy. By the time it's
well,
over, the next
it,
round it catches up.
well, but then again, sometimes it depends on what point of the fight. Because if it's toward the
True.
end of the fight,
Yeah.
then I know if I'm in the lead, I'm not trying to give up the points.
True. That's
You
true.
know, I'm not trying to give up the lead. So it's that's why I say it's the mental, it's the strategy.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know, if
thinking
I
more
get
of the
caught
beginning of the
early,
fight than the
right?
end.
Yeah, if you got caught early, it's like okay, I got time. I got if the 20-minute round. Okay, I got the rest of 20 minutes or the rest of the 10-minute round, and then the next 10-minute round after the
Mhm.
break. I got time to go back. But if it's like late, nah, probably not.
Now, if it's late, I'm doing everything possible to not lose at that point. So I hear you. Hear
Yeah,
your point.
Get
yeah,
it. Yep.
And
yeah.
yeah,
So
and then since he's coaching you a little bit, be when you're starting a cat fight, be patient. There's so many people that want to go in so quick. It's good to be aggressive, but be patient at the same time. You have
Okay.
to understand what your opponent is trying to do to you, and then make adjustments accordingly.
Hmm.
mhm,
Aggression is good, but out of control aggression will get you beat.
yes. Is there? It's kind of hard to ask about punishment round. I don't even know if they're doing one or if they
Are
have
y'all
just.
even doing any punishment
I
rounds?
don't know. She probably don't even know what that
She
is.
don't even
That's
know
why
what we're talking
she
about.
don't even know what that.
What is
She
it?
Like,
What
don't
is
know.
it?
so punishment round is like, for example, you have some people would do like foot worship, some people would do muscle worship, some people lift and carry, some people would do around like 3-4 minutes where you may get face at, whatever, to show dominance or what have you. So it's like they're waiting for the victor to enjoy the spoils of the win over the loser.
Okay.
So you just flex on them or whatever. Some people are done twerking, some on the opponent, all kind of stuff. It's all over the map. It just depends. It just depends on. Um,
Oh yeah, by the way, us as fans, we actually care about y'all. Y'all, it's kind of interesting that some of y'all, some of the fighters don't understand. We actually do care about y'all safety and all this other stuff.
yes,
We talk to you because we want to know, what your opinion of the fight was, what you can do better, like he said,
yes.
and so on and so forth. So people like me, Claus, Mike, you just over here, you probably
Sweet
gonna see
fight,
Blake. You're gonna see quite a
Blake.
few of us also when it
You'll
gets to
see
the
quite a
GT
few.
meet and next week. You're probably gonna see us up there, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
might be trying to coach you a little bit on some stuff. So be prepared during
Yes.
the break, not during the
Do
match.
you? Yeah, because I want to say, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah,
Us
you
as
have any
fans,
questions for
or
us?
something for us as sponsors, producers, or something that you always want to know, like why y'all do that? So or what?
No, not really. I'm just excited and I can't wait to, experience this. And I really don't know what to expect because it seems like everybody's experience is different.
Yes.
Everybody has their
Yes.
own style and it's different. So
Yeah.
we'll
Well, we're
see.
looking forward to seeing you blaze your own path. Every fight is unique.
Mhm.
Every fight is different. So the biggest thing is, and I can say this again for the fans and the sponsors, because we all kind of know how this go.
Mhm.
We're not looking for you to be the next collar or the next ranking. We're
Mm-mm.
looking for you to be the first. Johnny, oh God, I keep wanting to say Johnny, Janai,
Janai.
Janai. Yeah, we
Janai.
just want you to be Janai. We
Janai.
don't need you
We
to be
just want you to be
Kyla.
the,
We
the,
don't
the
need you to be
best
Paris.
Janai.
We just need you to be Janai. That's it.
Right, right. Or be Peyton. Just
We
be
don't
the
mind
best
that.
Janai. That's
So I like
all we. That's all we care about, and
that's
just
all
being
I can.
able to experience the uniqueness of you. So
Okay.
And also, some of the things you're going to understand when you're doing the cat fight, you're going to be sore a little bit. So don't be, you're going to be sore, but that's expected. Oh,
we have another coming from
yo,
another
guys,
one
sweet
of our.
fight.
Yeah, you
Go
said,
ahead.
Janai, it's lovely to meet you. Good luck on your first fight, and welcome to a whole new world.
He's
Oh,
right. Welcome to the cat fight world.
And
Now,
if
as he
I'm not
said.
mistaken, I think he's also a Texan. If I'm not mistaken, is he? Is
Oh,
he
okay.
not?
sweet fights. I think
Yeah,
so
yeah.
because
So
he's headquartered out of Dallas. I think so. I'll say
is
yes.
he out of Dallas? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think he's another Texan. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So I've always heard great things about Texas women. Texas women do. They rough and tough. They don't take no mess and give
yep.
no quarter, ask no quarter.
I'm
That's why.
expecting Janai to be the same in this one.
Yes.
I'm not
So
making no prediction, but I think there's gonna be a surprise in this match. I'm not making no prediction. I will keep it for the live stream.
and as always, I root for the refs.
Yes, you
Okay.
do.
For
Who is
the
the
rest.
referee? Now that
I
you brought
don't
that
know.
up, who is the
It don't
ref?
matter
Is there
who the
even going to
ref
be a
was.
ref? in this fight?
I don't know who's
I'm just
the ref,
asking
but
her if
I
there's even going to be a
root
ref.
for
I know
because
that
I
Reagan's
just
going to be
wanted
camera
to
person.
be. Yeah, I just wanted to be a good match where
Me too.
that way the loser can't be like, oh, I got screwed, I got you. Now,
No.
So I root for the refs. Call it down the middle, clean and fair. Now I root for the refs.
Yeah, I don't blame you for rooting for the referee. The referee can hopefully the ref don't influence the match. We just want them
As
just
a
to call it
Saints
straight.
fan, we've been burned by a ref or two, but
Yeah, we have.
I still hold true to the virtues. Yes.
Oh,
I'm really excited to see next week. Me and Clem, we might do our version of Ariel Hawani and
UFC, the UFC pre-fight
like
show.
how the post-fight show, like, all right, we need to interview the winner. It's like, all right, come on,
That would be nice. We're trying to talk to her about that. We'll see.
Yeah,
We're trying to talk to your boss about that. We'll see.
Yes, because especially after it's over,
Yeah,
those were actually some of the best times that we had. That those that was able to hang around and be able to give you that instant feedback, or whatever, right in the throat. Because a lot of times you got the adrenaline is still running through your veins and stuff like that. Because it's a good workout now. You gonna get a good workout. Your cardio. I should have asked the cardio question. How good is your cardio? Because your cardio will be.
I'm glad you asked this question because it's important. We have to ask this question because it's important. So he said it. So go ahead and answer it.
Well, I do pole fitness a lot, so my cardio is pretty good right now.
Okay.
For now.
Okay.
For now, yes, because this will be definitely several rounds of quite of anaerobic activity.
Okay.
If you can ever balance it, it's almost kind of like being Kung Fu Panda. If you ever can balance it to make it aerobic, then you really somewhere where you can just move like water. But
Okay.
not everybody. It's hard to do at first because at first it's just like with anything else you do. You just like, oh my God, it's like, and then next thing you know, oh, it's over already. And then it's like, then as you start doing it more, just like anything else, it starts to slow down. It's like, okay, I can do this, I can do that. And then you just be like Keanu Reeves in the Matrix. You're like,
yeah, you become more
like Reagan. You just be, all right,
Yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't take a long.
You got a couple. Comments. I know
Oh
your guy.
Lord. Okay, here we go.
Switch fight.
I'm ready
go
to
ahead and answer this.
this.
Go ahead and answer this.
Like
It's Mike. No.
No. Nude is
no. He talking about nude. As in fully nude. He's not talking about
nude is nude.
Nude is nude.
I'm not ready to do the complete nude yet.
Oh, okay. So
sorry, Mike.
Don't let your opponent take advantage of you of that because all those are what we call the mental block. Because, like I said, especially when you talk about bikinis, it's a lot of moving, a lot of rolling around. That's why I'm like,
yep.
Hope it holds up. All right.
Yo, bikini better hold up because if it don't hold up,
especially if
everything's
it's
legal. We just give you some oats. We just telling you, hope your bikini holds up because it don't. Anything and everything's legal in this fight.
Which goes back to the whole thing of which we talked about, the crotch attacks. Because it's like, how you do crotch attacks? It's just, you see what I'm saying? It's the whole thing of the mental to the point where it's like it don't even phase you. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just getting almost facing your own fears and barriers in your mind. So that's why, yeah. So Mike, thank you for asking that question because
thanks,
usually
Mike.
for the newbies, it's like, yeah. But then after a while, you're like, look, this is sweat, this is sticky. I'm like, man, shoot, it's restricting my movement. Whatever, we moving on.
Whatever, take it off.
Whatever. It's just because if you think about what most cat fights in the traditional sense of the word, it was always like, it would tear, rip clothes or whatever. But it's one of those things that if you're using it as a tactic to disrupt, to gain an advantage or something like that, to me, hey, it's fair game. Don't wear nothing that you think you're too cute that you want to take home. That's why
exactly. Don't wear anything cute. Don't wear anything cute. That's important. If it's important, do not bring it.
Don't bring it.
Don't bring it.
Don't bring it.
Don't not bring it.
Don't bring it. So don't wear
your best dress or something.
You can bring it and take it off before you start, but don't wear it.
Exactly.
Especially like jewelry and stuff like that. You'll be shocked. Like girls will still have. I'm like, what are you doing with hoop earrings on?
Exactly.
No. Everything.
Right. It's like, what are we doing? Like one girl's like, well, I ain't took this off so my grandmother died. I said, your grandmother's gonna be mad if it get because you get anything loose, then you
Yeah.
can get an arm and a limb or a foot or something caught in
Yep.
it, and that's not cute. That's why even with the bikini, I'm like, what kind is this? Is this halter top of a? I'm starting to realize halter top bikinis may be more trouble unless it's a tie back. It may be more trouble than what it's worth because it's
Yep.
like because you don't want to. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's just me. That's just me. But um,
As I always say,
everybody's
fight.
different.
Yeah, as I'm going to say, I always say this in my thing: fight dirty, but fight within the rules. In other words, you can fight dirty, just be smart about it. About it.
Right. Yes. Yes, because like I said, a lot of it is just mental, and so
It's a
and how
mental
far a
block
lot of
game.
it, so much of it mental. Yeah. Well,
Like I said before, back to my statement: when you beat someone, if you beat someone mentally, you got them. That's
you
that's
got
it.
them. So yes. So, but we looking forward to
We're looking
see
forward to seeing you in
and Texas
action.
born and raised.
I can't
Um,
wait.
yes. All
Okay,
right.
people, the fight is August 30th. Do we know what time it's going to start yet? Anybody know?
I know I
I
haven't gotten the
don't.
time yet either.
Yeah, I haven't got the time yet either.
Yeah, she hasn't told me.
If you have a social media that you want us to shout out, or if you have one,
Yes, Janai Andres. JANIANDRES.
wait a minute, hold on, let me make sure.
I think
If I
she's
want to,
JANIAU. Oh,
wait,
Andrews. Oh, A
wait a
A
minute,
N
hold on.
D
I'm
R
trying
E
to
S.
make
I
sure.
think. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. JANIANDRES.
ANDRES at that's what at Twitter and Instagram.
10 a.m. Okay, August
10
30th.
a.m. To answer your question, Claus, the fight will start at 10 a.m.
10
Central
a.m.
Hi,
Time.
Reagan.
Central Time
Central Time
on a Monday
on a Monday.
during staff meeting. Oh,
You're not the only one. I'm at work too. I'm not no
okay.
better than you.
All
I'm
right.
at work too.
So
All right, we
at
work with it.
And
JANIANDRES
yes, that's
Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
IG.
But hey.
Yes. All right. Support. Yeah.
Yes, everybody go follow me. Hi, Alyssa.
Everybody, make sure you support Reagan, the homegirl. This is gonna be her first cat fight. She needs as many sponsors as possible. Support
Yeah.
the fighters by
Yeah.
Yeah.
putting in your $50. I'm not gonna say it's an epic fight, but it's going to be a very, very good fight. Let's put it that way. Because one
Yeah.
person has something to prove and another person wants to make a name in this business. You know who is
Right.
who. I'll leave it at that.
Yes. So, all right. And the only thing we hate we couldn't do is get Michael Buffer to show up. Unfortunately, that's the only. There's still hope. We still got a week. Who knows? If he
That's
can
true.
show up for Versus, he can show up.
Sure. You sure can. We have
Yeah.
anything else we want to talk about, boss?
I'd rather have
Before we
Bruce
wrap?
No, no, no. But we can take our next break before we bring in our next guest. No, no, I'm good.
Oh, okay. So, Jane, welcome. Hope you have a very good experience in the
Well,
Skyfire world.
Janai is
Janai, I'm
Janai.
sorry. I have
It's
to
okay.
see. This man's gonna kill me, man. Janai,
Janai.
Janai.
We got a
Okay,
week to get it right. We
we
got a
got
week to
yeah,
get it.
exactly. We got a
Because
week
we've
to get
been
this
saying it
right.
wrong for 3 weeks, so we got a week to
Yep,
get it right.
Janai. Okay, like
Janai.
we said, like I said before, welcome to the industry. Uh, look around. You have your people now. You know who your fans are. Most of us, you know who we are. So,
Yes.
so that's pretty much it.
All
That's
right.
pretty
Well,
much all I have to say now.
thank
All
you guys
right.
for having me.
Thank you for coming on the
Thank
show.
you. Thank
It's
you for coming.
Janai.
Yes.
okay.
Yes,
Bye.
you got it right, Janai.
It's
All
Janai.
right. All right.
Okay.
All right. Yes. So as we wait for our next guest, yeah. So our next guest is our next guest popped up and shoot. I accidentally pulled off my no. Hold on. I need a technical timeout, but I'll
All
let you
right. Go
keep
ahead.
talking. I don't want to lose the signal. That would not be good.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Sweet Fight. Janai is cute. I agree
Nope.
with you.
So,
And she might be a possible recruit for you, Sweet Fights, in the future since you're from
we
Texas and she's
are.
in Texas.
Oh, come on.
What up, Mike? How are you? Yes, sir. How's like we're having technical a little bit of technical timeout right now. He's trying to get his stuff in order. So, like I said before, 4 hours late. So, like we said, we had two cat fights already. He already talked about the one with Kimchi versus Laura. I would not be surprised if Kimchi and Reagan eventually have a fight. We'll see if that happens. And then Satana versus
Let's
Columbia Rose. It'll be
see.
interesting to see when the video comes out. So if you're a sponsor, make sure you look
Okay.
out for that. It's probably
Yeah.
gonna be on your Dropbox more
I'm
than
in one
anything.
of the spots where you know how like certain plugs won't unless you flip a light or whatever, it won't work. Yeah.
Right.
So yep. No, I'm gonna contact second guest and tell them to go ahead and come on. But
I'm excited about this fight. Right. I'm excited about this
yeah.
fight. I expect both girls to fight hard. I expect them to fight fair within the rules. I expect a lot of movement. As you would say, the match might not be safe in this fight with these two. Let's see.
Mhm.
Let's see what happens.
Right. So I think with Janai, she has like a lot of nervous energy. You know, and just like
That's expected. I don't.
yeah,
She's not used to speaking. She's not used to doing public speaking. Might as well of any sort. So I
right.
understand
You
that
know, and it's a matter of what you do on the mat.
exactly.
Yeah. So I'm just letting you breathe.
I feel like she's going to perform very well on the match. I think she's going to give Peyton a better match than what people are thinking. That's just my
Right.
opinion.
Right. You know, and sometimes but then again, you can have beginner's luck, you know. It just
True.
you come out on that day, on that, like I've always said, on that day.
Hey,
I am going to type again on here. This is and it's Peyton with the E, correct?
Peyton with
I,
an E. It's
yes.
Peyton. Just
Creole
like Peyton Manning.
underscore.
Think of it that way. Sorry.
God. Yes. That is, let's see. IG. I'm going to also add support.
Yep.
Um, Janai versus Peyton. You can do Creole at Creole underscore melanin underscore goddess on IG.
Oh yeah. By the
Or
way, she can also be contacted in two different places. She can be contacted. I mean, when it comes to sponsorship wise, she can be contacted on her Cash App at Creole Goddess 29, or she said PayPal now, so PayPal also.
um, but which usually with PayPal you got to do an email or phone number.
Yeah, she does have an email. I think her email is Kayla Arjanet, spelled AUJEANT. I think dot booking info. It's a lot of words at
Ooh.
gmail.com. That's her email.
Um, uh,
You might want to
uh,
call her on that.
yeah. Yeah, text me the. I tell her text me the
The
PayPal
email, please.
contact.
Yeah, usually I'm not usually pushing matches like this one, but for the homegirl for the homegirl Reagan, we need the sponsors to show out and show us some
Yeah,
support so that she
yeah,
can have some encouragement to continue doing this. I'm sure
yeah.
it's the same way for you when you were doing
Oh yeah.
your thing with your Claus Web thing. The better,
No,
yeah,
yeah.
the better the sponsors come out, the better you can produce stuff.
Yeah, and especially for the girls, you know,
Yeah,
especially
it's
for the
mainly for the
first
girls.
girl. Yeah, for the first timers, you know, because for the first timers is like, and like I said, it's a whole new. Sweet Fight said it best. It's a whole new world, you know, and it's like
Fact.
you sit there and you're like, um,
Yeah, I was right. Her email address is kayla.bookinginfo
okay,
at gmail.com. There
okay,
you go.
yes, yes, thank God, yes, booking info. We're able to bring that straight. Matter of fact, yes, she jumped in. um, she jumped in. So,
She said I
um,
texted Peyton. Hopefully she sees it and can get on. Yeah, we're waiting on
yeah,
her right now.
yeah. Well, she had popped in right when we was getting ready to. We was wrapping up with Miss Janai, and so she had popped in
Chennai.
on the back office. So I was trying to
Yeah,
just
man.
do the switch,
Me
and
and you
then
got
she
to
had
work on
called
that
for
name. Janai. We got to work on that
Janai.
name. We have like
Yeah,
6 days. 6 days to get this right. I'm not
yeah,
counting today.
yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is another way, and please make sure to know the two A's back to back. Yeah, 'cause I have been one that missed it before. Booking info at gmail.com. Yes, and so yep. So we're looking forward. Um,
Oh, your guy Mike said he had a question for Reagan. Mike, we'll see. Don't know.
well, Mike, I guess you can add ask it through the chat because
Yep,
um, you can ask it through the chat because we
she's not on today.
yes, yeah. So I guess we can make it a kind of interactive, and
She said
so
shoot is what she said. So
right.
there you go.
we this is kind of like third hand, but
Hmm.
we're definitely um bring it up because, like I said, while we're waiting on Peyton.
Hmm.
And that's kind of the fun thing about interactive because sometimes you can have a whole nother conversation going on in an interactive while you're doing the same thing with the fans interacting amongst themselves. Um, but I would like to say, who knows with Janai with a good showing, good performance. It's just like
Yeah,
um, I can't say she'd be in the top 8 tomorrow, but
I'll say
we'll see.
this. I know one thing. If she has a good performance, she's going to be an honorable mention. I'll say that now. She
Yes,
might be better than
yes,
some of these people we have on honorable mention. We're struggling right now. You know this. We're trying to
yes.
find. I'm trying to find reason to put somebody in front of somebody when it comes to honorable mention.
Yeah, but
I don't care.
that's when you want to when it's a good thing. Like we had that one stretch. Oh my God, was it about October last year?
October last year.
Or yeah, it was like September, October last year, where we had people that had won matches and couldn't even break the top 8. We was
Correct.
right.
Correct.
I remember doing when that was a stretch, and I was like, man, we had people that couldn't even get in because it was like the top 8 was so stacked. The top 8 was,
Exactly.
oh my God, that was a because you had during that time you had Roxy Hart and which we had and that's the name we hadn't heard from in a while.
We still
Roxy
haven't heard from
Hart
her.
and Valor had
Yep.
fought, and then I think Little Rampage,
Little Rampage and Sexy White fought
White
then.
had fought, and then um, Lyric had just got through fighting
I think
Paris,
yeah,
Paris and
Paris and
Alexa
Alexa
Brooke.
fought.
Yeah, Alexa Brooke had fought, but
Davina fought Lyric at that time.
Davina fought Lyric. Yeah,
That
and
was
it
a
was like
rematch
all of
then.
this was during this time frame where it was like, oh my God, it's like you just it was amazing. You just couldn't. It
Yep.
was all that at once, and it
Yep.
was like, man, shoot, just trying to get on, just trying to be one of the great 8 was just going to be good enough. But I'm looking for resurgence, and maybe Janai could be part of that talent, that new
Yep.
talent that can be that could spark.
Let's
Peyton
hope so.
having the shot to get back on. Peyton, I'm more. We have more hard hitting questions because we know that she's more of a vet. She's been around the block a time or two.
Oh, we have a lot
Um,
of Stay tuned for guys. We definitely have hard hitting questions for Peyton. We definitely going to ask her about what happened the last fight. And, we have to, right?
right.
Proper.
But it's a nicer way you can ask the question.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a nice way. I'm not
Like
going to
what
be mean. It's
happened?
a
Like
nice way
what
we're going to
happened?
ask
I
her.
lost. What do you mean? What happened?
Yeah, there's going to be a nice
What kind
way.
of question is that? I
I'm
got
not going to
dusted.
answer that,
What kind
but
of
just saying.
what happened?
We have a lot
Yeah.
of questions to ask though. We probably won't ask that question, but there's
Well,
some other
no, you
questions.
can. But your thought of going into it versus what happened.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
that. It's just that because a lot of times we can have our way of thinking of how we're going to do it to get
Mm.
in, and then when it comes time, and then it's like, oh, you know. So it's just that you get out there and you realize like, oh, wow, that there's levels to this, or you realize after a couple of minutes you in over your head and like, look, I'm gonna have to try to make the best of it. Because some days it be like that. There's like some days like if you getting blown out early and you just realize I am out of my league. Like this
Yep.
was another level. Like I was not expecting this. And
Yep.
then to be like, okay, you just try to recover and it was to the point. I was just hoping I said, look, just get a point. Let's try. Let's now look at small stuff. Let's try to
Yep.
get a point. Let's
Yep.
try to get a point. Work on what you feel like you could get. That was something I should have mentioned to Janai. It was like, try to find something. You don't want to make it where it's a crutch, but you want to try to find something that you feel like you can get on any opponent at any time. And then from
Gotcha.
there,
Small steps is what you're trying to
Yeah,
say. Take small steps.
small stuff. But I think as long as we're denying the first match, like I said, the first one, because you only get one first match. So,
Correct.
um, yeah,
Correct.
Mike must be writing a paragraph of a question because we're still waiting to see said question. Uh, Mike, don't write the Magna Carta down.
The Magna Carta.
Right. You
Yeah.
know, like the Magna Carta, they're gonna have annotations, point one and then subset A, subset, you
B
know.
point two, subset A, subset B, point three. Thesis
Yeah,
statement, man. My man's writing a
uh,
thesis statement going on.
yes, Lord. It's like we ain't see the
Love you, Mike.
question.
We love you, Mike, but
Right. But I don't know if this thing gonna have enough characters. He might have enough pages, and then we have to scroll through the question,
yeah,
trying
Mike is a
to.
big time supporter, definitely. You did not see my
No, no,
question.
no, we did not see the question.
What was the question?
Yeah, we still waiting for the question, Mike. We did not see the question.
Whatever your question is, we haven't seen it yet.
But we hadn't seen it yet. And I don't know if Reagan's seen it, but we didn't see it. Not let me put it this way. We didn't see it on
Screen.
Periscope. You might have DM'd her, but we didn't see it on Periscope. But no, we didn't see the question. But we still, like I said, we're still waiting for our next guest. I'm sure she'll be connected in back in, hopefully. So the thing is not one of the ones where it's like, okay, just kick you. It's like a one use only thing, but it's once you have access to it, boom, you come back in. But other than that, I would say there was another fight. Did anybody up for September? I know while we're waiting, our next show
September
would be
13th, the day
September
after
13th. The day after I have
your
Amethyst
fight.
Stone, yes. Amethyst Stone and Dawn Dares. As I said before, it would definitely be a rookie level fight. It's just something to get Amethyst on some kind of work because
Yeah.
she's been trying. Oh my God, she's been trying.
I'm
I'm
just happy
trying
she got
to.
a match, man.
Yeah,
That child been
yeah,
looking,
yeah,
looking for a
yeah.
while.
I think again, I Dawn Dance has been actually, to be perfectly honest, probably being in the best shape she's been in her life.
Hmm.
Yes, so she's really been working out stuff. She's literally been in the best shape. She's been easily a year and a half, probably almost 2 years.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
So I want to see how well that's going to translate onto the mats, translate to her stamina and things of that nature. I'm going to break it up in rounds so not to wear them completely out. But
Correct.
basically, what we're going to do, we're going to have a competitive segment. I'm going to do 3 5-minute rounds. We're going to have a
Sounds right.
competitive segment. Well, I'm debating if we're going to do the test of strength. I'm debating we're going to do that. We're going to do a tap match segment.
Hmm.
Those of y'all that know how we do,
Hmm.
calls, we tap match. There's be 3 holes that you have to gain, and the first one to get all 3 is an
Yes.
untimed match. So the match could be done in 90 seconds, or the match could be a 20
30
minute match.
minutes.
Right. It's just the first one to get all 3 in any order. Um, then we have. I'm debating about doing maybe. We were just trying to do like 3 things. Maybe the other ones we have is like a straddle match. We have another one called Head, where all of them is dealing with the head. Like you have to get a submission via camel clutch, anaconda, guillotine, and head scissors. I don't usually offer that to first timers. I wait till you
Hmm.
done a couple of matches in to do that. We
Makes
have another
sense.
one called Holes Challenge, which is personally my favorite match,
Mm.
just because it works. It's probably the most mentally taxing as well as physical taxing.
Oh, it is.
Holes Challenge, which again, Holes Challenge is another one I put to. You have to at least do 3 to 5 shoots to even before I even feel comfortable putting you in the Holes Challenge. Because
Agreed.
if you don't know any holds, it's kind of
Oh,
hard doing the Holes Challenge match. You don't know the holds.
yeah.
So, um, so the whole thing about Holes Challenge is like the first round is you'll pick a hole to put your opponent in, and you'll start the match from there. And you pretty much want to get a hole that you know that If they end it, they're going to tap and submit right away.
Mm-hmm.
If they submit to it, you get a point. If they break out of it,
They get a point.
or they get a half a point.
Oh, okay.
You get a half a point. Now, if then it goes as a regular match until there's a fall or a submission.
Oh, okay.
Oh, a submission. Now, if you get them back to submit into the hole that you originally picked, you still get a point. But now it's 1 point to a half a point. Now,
Okay.
if you get them to submit to anything else, you only get a half a point.
Oh,
Then
okay.
it'd be the tie.
Okay.
Now, if they break out and then submit you to a hole, they get a full point for that. So they'll be up a point and a half.
Ah.
To 0. But however, this is the kicker. If they reverse it and get you to submit in the hole that you pick for them, they get 2 points.
Ah. Okay. Gotcha.
So, yes. So is a lot of it is the same. So that's the first round. So you pick a hole, put them in, then they pick a hole to put you in. Then that's the first round. The second round is then you pick the hole for them to put you in.
Oh, okay.
So now you want to pick a hole that you know that you can break out of, but something that you know that they're weak at.
Gotcha.
This is where the maniacal, because this is where you have to pay attention to and study your opponent.
Yep.
You know, it's like, okay, well, because usually I save whole challenge for last because I want to test your stamina because you done shot all day, and I want to test the mental part. Can you dig in? Can you? Because there'll be a time, like say if you're in a full 20-minute competitive section, where how many times have we seen it where the girl at the end pulls it out because she just had that extra gear, towards the end. So that would be the second round. Then the third round, I've changed up the third round. The third round used to be that I would pick the hole that they would put each other in. And I usually try to do it to kind of balance the game out because if one girl's like blowing out the other, or if she's using one hole as a crutch, because then I'll pick a hole on purpose to know that I know that she's not good at, just to try to balance it out. To kind of take myself out of it, what I decided to do is just leave it to luck and leave it to chance. So I will put the holes in a hat, and they'll have to pull it out of the hat. And whatever they pull is what they have to do.
Gotcha.
So let's let luck have his way. If it just happened to be that day and they pull the hole that they do best, so be it. If the hole they ain't so good at, well, it's gonna be some work.
Sorry.
So I will put each hole in there equally. Like I'll put one of each, and then they'll go in, pull from the hat. That will be the third round. They'll pull from the hat, and whatever hole they get, that's what they got. That's what they got to do. So I think that random for the third round kind of adds that element, than me trying to balance it out, trying to play the Deus Ex Machina God role. I haven't done one yet with that new third version because all the ones I've done up until now, I picked the hole. But I think going forward, I'm going to do it where it's I picked the hole. So that's hole challenge. But usually like hole challenge and like head, I kind of say that till you've done like 2 or 3 shoots because you got to kind of know what you're doing, especially with head. Those two. Then of course we have, because I used to have like at one point, man, I had like 17 different match types, and then I realized I'm like some of these I never did. I just wanted to say to do it now. Others will break out, like mud wrestling or beach or oil. We ain't never did, or we don't have the space or the infrastructure to do it. It's like okay, whatever. But the 7 main ones we do is the head match, the whole challenge, the test of strength, competitive, tap, straddle. Because basically you just face it your opponent. Whoever can get the most submissions in like 10 minutes. like 2 5-minute rounds of 10 minutes.
Mm.
And the last one, I've been debating about Grapevine. Grapevine was one of the ones we used to have. I kind of
Mhm.
went away from it because Grapevine is one of the ones that if you're not very big in your chest heavy, Grapevine isn't really much of an advantage.
Mm-mm.
Um, you can make an argument. Well, if you have a little booty, then what good is strap? You can still position it. There's still ways to position.
Mm.
Grapevine, not so much. And nothing's worse than having Grapevine when you got two girls that can't really do the breast smothering part. Well, you just can't.
Good point.
So we kind of, because we have that in tap, it's kind of like, do I need to have a whole match devoted to that? So we kind of cut that. Another one we cut was head scissors. I used to have that. We have it on some of our older videos, legacy videos, where we would have head scissors where all the submissions were head scissors, whether it was regular head scissors, reverse head scissors, figure four head scissors, reverse figure four head scissors, all
Mhm.
that. But again, that's more of a technical level, which we'll still do that as a one off. But that would be one where I've had girls that's probably done 5 to 7 shoots, and they may have fought each other like 3 or 4 times, and they ain't got nothing else. They can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Mike said, "Wonder why all my questions now coming through, or you mean
Are you sure?
not coming through?" We ain't seen them, Mike. Um, I
Sorry,
want
Mike,
to
for not
say
seeing it.
I can say you can. Let me go back to this is something that I said earlier. You can send via the Gmail, and then I can try to pull it from there, copy and paste there, and then I can just copy and paste on here. But and then the one other one that's kind of the one off is because every now and then we come across talent that wants it like a sex fight or whatever. For the girls that want to do that, we have that as well. But again, that's down the road. We're still waiting on next guest, and I've been filibustering.
Shoot a regular message to see what the holdup is with
Yeah,
Miss Payton.
yeah. So which we didn't have. Uh,
Because you're right. Let's try this. Is this catfight allowing full nudity? Mike. Jeez, man. Your boy's like,
well, I mean, you already seen the apprehension from Jean, and then again, that's something that's more of a question Reagan can answer because if that's
yeah,
not
only Reagan
something
can answer that question.
that they
Because
have
as you said,
agreed to or not agreed
Janai is
to,
not,
Janai.
yeah. Janai
Yeah,
is not comfortable with it. She's comfortable with
so
topless. I think that's what she said, right? She said she's comfortable
so
being
that
topless.
that's more of a because Mike, some of these babies, we got to take baby steps. We can let's
Yeah,
just
let's
throw them all
calm,
out
calm, calm, Mike.
and let's get comfortable in the skin first before we,
Exactly. Let's let
you
these
know.
ladies get comfortable, man. Right? Like she
Uh,
said, Janai is like a new baby in this industry. Let's
we
not
can't
let's
do.
not let's not scare her away already by saying stuff like this. Let's be careful with that, right? As you say.
But I get it. It's like,
I get
but you
it.
know what? And some of this though, and this was a conversation I had with Tilly. It's like some of this, and you know what? That's probably why because the word nudity was in his question was probably why it didn't go through because it's like um fact checking for lack of a better word. And it's
Mm,
like, this is against our community standards. But this was something I talked about with Tilly once before. It's like
mm,
I think a lot of it has to do with I think a lot of it has to do with the culture that we live in.
yep.
Because the thing about like a lot of our overseas colleagues or whatever, them fighting topless is that's a
Mm,
default. Like
exactly.
that's not even a conversation if they're
Nope.
going. It's a default. Like if anything, to see matches where they are wearing the top almost
It's
looks
surprising.
strange.
Yep.
Almost looks strange, unless it's one of those things where they're trying to do a role play of a cat fight, and then they're going to strip it off, but to have where they're not, or almost look. and it doesn't affect their performance. It doesn't affect their mental stamina or whatever. And then, of course, whether they fight nude or whatever, again, that goes down to what happened.
Mm.
So that's that's something. Oh, I'm sorry, I was in the midst of then when Mike said this question.
Go ahead. We're all dealing with his questions.
Having issues.
But like you said, back to your point. Your point is exactly right because the girls in Europe, like you said, they're so comfortable with their bodies and all that stuff that finding topless is not a big deal. It's kind of expected now
And the
to a
thing
point.
is
To a
that
point.
gets me about a lot of the European talent is, I guess, for lack of a better term, the hotness level. I guess we want to call it, if that's a thing.
Yeah.
Um,
On this
uh,
level. Yeah.
I'll put it this way: if most of the talent that we know, it's how can I say it? It's a difference. It's like most of the talent that we have in America, if they look anything like the ladies from like Fighting Dolls or Fighting Divas, they're not fighting that level of aggression.
Facts.
I will almost argue to say almost no matter how much money you put down, they just won't have
Won't
it
do it.
in them to do it. We're not even going to talk about we're not going to even expound on the fact the locales and stuff they fight, like they'd be in the backyard or somewhere in the grass and just because
Mhm.
anything could be rolling around in the grass. You got ants rolling around, you got you know
True.
grasshoppers and crickets
True.
and they rolling around there. It just, I mean, like it's nothing, man. It just
Right.
and it just blows my mind. I've been baffled.
Mm.
And so it's like it's nothing for them. Um, but I think the American company of that I'm talking about of the physical look now, not now skill level. Again, we've done this before. We put together a team where we could do a April Hunter or a Tomiko or a Sarah Brook or now. Granted, I think once we got past the top 10, I think depth was now going to be kind of an issue because I think
Mm.
if we did 20 their best 25 versus our best 25, I think once we get past 10 to 12, I think we're
We're
gonna
done.
be we losing ground. We losing ground. I think our best 10 to 12 could go and hold their own against their best 10 to 12. But once you get in the middle to the back end,
Oof.
basically if this was fantasy league, the European girls would come on top because sometimes the strength and depth of your bench, because your starters can't fight every fight.
Right.
Your bench got to be able to pull some kind of weight. So
Yep.
I think, but if we have more talent like Janai come through, then perhaps we can start on a trend of showing that up to get that balance back because, um, and I just want to see. I think we're at a good place because, like I said, we have awesome cat fights with them having the Latina market. And then here it is, you have Reagan and Janai and Peyton, black, white. You have um, Kim Chi with her being
Yep.
from the Asian community. So I
Yep.
think from that melting pot that America is that nice melting pot.
Yeah.
There's not that many oddities left. I'll save it for the sidebar. There's only one community I can think of that we hadn't really seen
Yeah.
that much on represented on the scale, but
I agree with you.
a
I
lot
have
of
something
it's
I want to say too.
religious.
I'm like you. I'm gonna keep it for the sidebar because I'm going
We'll
to talk
keep it for the
about other
sidebar.
stuff. I'm saving that for
We'll
the
keep it
sidebar.
for the
Whatever I'm thinking
sidebar.
about. It's a sidebar.
But
I don't want to say much.
we still waiting on. I'm hoping at any moment now because, like I said, we just right now we killing their
We're
time.
killing time here.
We're killing time. Just like I said, we saw her. We saw her in the back. We didn't want to bring her in. Why too? In hindsight, if I knew we were gonna be this, I would have just been like, look, we're gonna bring her in and da da da.
Yeah.
And maybe going. I was trying to time it and space it out to where
Mhm.
we have that break. But sometimes this is where not like full like if you do ESPN, what a lot of people don't realize with the live group, a lot of times when you have like ESPN or whatever, there'll be some showrunner or producer to be like, hey, thank you for coming, blah blah blah, checking to make sure the mics and stuff is good before they bring them on
Yeah.
air. We're not nowhere near that level of sophistication yet.
Nope.
Hopefully one day, and maybe we restream and whatever. And thankful for them giving us a platform to do it on.
Yep.
Restream, StreamYard, that kind of stuff.
By the
Um,
way, I want to give a shout out to Mike and Sweet Fights. I want to give people who are watching this because, and there's some other people that'll be watching this show. I'm not saying that we're done yet. I'm just giving shout outs to y'all for being committed to watching this. I know it's late right now, but
yeah,
I give y'all credit for sticking in, hanging in with us. We're trying to work out our second guest right now. Hopefully,
yes,
any minute she'll show up, and then we just go from there.
yes. Um, but other than that, man,
We ain't got much
I'm
more
just
to talk about. We pretty much talked
no,
about
we
just
have.
about everything.
I have. Well, I guess the only two things I still have is I have the one fight. I have an agreement in principle for Amethyst and another fighter on the 26th, but I will announce that on the 13th when that time comes, because one, we just want to get through this run of what we have now. And
Yep.
then plus there's a couple of I's dotted and T's crossed I need before I announce that opponent
Correct.
and
Correct.
get that out. I mean, we just literally, it's first and goal at the half yard line. I just need, look, these two or three things we can push to
Done.
get that out. That one would be more in line of what we hope to see with Janai versus Peyton. Um, I'll put it this way: my goal is, worst case, what we got with Kimchi and
Laura.
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 That's my goal. I'm like, there's no reason why we could not get that level of fight from it. I'll put
Yep.
it that way.
Yep.
I'll be disappointed if I can't get that, because that's going to be at least. I would love to have a Sherry Stuns versus Lyric type of fight.
Yeah.
That's the goal. But if I got at least, that's not that far off the meter. It's just
Nah.
that I think the thing about Sherry Stuns and Lyric though is you have two vets that
Yep.
mat awareness, ring skills,
Yep.
that has that they can total package they can put all together. So
Yep.
kind of hard to sometimes add somebody that may be new or somebody that's more inexperienced. I'll put it this way: if you had less than 5 fights, it's kind of hard to expect to get a Sherry Stuns, Lyric style match where you
Right.
got two women equal size, alpha females, both give no quarter, take no quarter, and can just go hell bent. Um,
Right.
but let me see. We're still waiting. I'm trying to see. I don't see. Yeah, from my yeah, but like I said, what was that one show that I'm trying to remember who was it that we was about to shut off, and literally I had
Tilly.
hand Tilly, yeah,
Tilly.
I had finger over the button ready to hit,
Yep.
and I heard bloop, and the
Yep.
back office rung like the doorbell rang. I was like, oh, you know.
Tilly.
I literally, not even a half second later, we would have went show off, and we would have still talked to her, but show would have been off, and we. So I'm kind of believing the same thing again. Like, look, all right, we at the end. Like, come on, you know. Oh, blessing in the benediction. That ended up being a great conversation that we ended up
Oh,
having.
that was a great conversation, man.
That was a great
That was
conversation.
fantastic. And it was
So,
funny. Her umbrella was getting blown out too. That was weird. That time. Weird.
yeah, yes, Lord Jesus. Um, but yeah, but I'm looking at that. I'm looking at hopefully maybe doing. I know I will be doing at least one fight shoot in Memphis during Christmas break, the week between uh, Christmas falls on 8th.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Christmas is Saturday.
Christmas is on a Saturday. I thought Christmas was on a Friday.
No, Saturday this year because they're playing 5 NBA games on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
I already looked at the schedule. The NBA
Yep, yep,
schedule is
yep,
already
yep.
out.
You're right. You're right. You're right. So Saturday. So I'm hoping the date I've always picked is like the 27th, 28th, because that gives you a couple of days after Christmas to kind of get past that. And
Yep.
by that point, you should be sick of your family. Sitting there looking at sick folks
True.
for 45
True.
days. And there's
True.
a reason why you ain't around them 365 days a year. You only with them the 2 days before, the day of, the 2 days after. All right, after
That's the
5
reason.
days, I'm tired of looking at you. Let me go find something else. And it's just before
Right.
New Year. And it's just before New
Exactly.
Year.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to shoot for one. I have one person confirmed. Um, I'm trying to get the others. Um, Again, aggression level, because these ladies, for just from a chronological standpoint, are older. So it's not going to be very what can I say? It's not going to be very high strung, for lack of a
Mm,
better term.
mm.
So it'd be more just competitive wrestling, and it's just going to be competitive wrestling, just something that they can get
That's
out.
fine. Right.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fine.
fine. But it's just, for some of them, one matchup I'm trying to get is my Pacquiao Mayweather, because it's like this has been a fight I've been trying to do. Oh my god.
Is this the one you've been talking to me about for some time?
No, no. Perhaps. Uh, is I would say one of the fighters' names that I know, Lady Fierce.
Okay.
She's been in and out. Trying to get her to see if I can get one with her in Southern Gym. That's the one I call my Pacquiao
Oh yeah,
Mayweather
Southern
fight.
Gym.
I've been
That's what he told me
trying
about.
to get those two since 2012.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. That is your
I've been
Pacquiao Mayweather.
trying to get them to, and now we get them in, but it's going to be slim. It's going to be slim pickings.
Yikes.
At this point. Well, I mean, I think I can get them because this is going to be really my last ditch attempt. We've been trying to get Memphis off the ground for years. Before I
Mm,
even moved to Virginia, we really was trying to get Memphis off the ground, and
not happening.
it's just not happening. I think a lot of it is, and I think a lot of it is I didn't realize it's just the culture until I got here. Memphis is really big in wrestling culture because they've seen, with Mid South Wrestling is a staple for those who know the history of wrestling in this country,
Hmm.
professional wrestling.
Yep.
Jerry Lawler being the face of
Jared
that for
Lawler.
so many years.
Yep.
There's Coco Beware, Sid Vicious,
Yep.
different folks that have been on it for years. It's more of a thing of that. It's the difference between being a fan of something and then actually doing it, or even giving an attempt to do it, because it's such a big thing in the culture of Memphis that people not like that was the first TV heroes or TV stars that a lot of people, especially you grew up in the hood here in
Mm,
Memphis, with Memphis Championship Wrestling fighting at Mid South Coliseum. That was the first people you saw
mm.
that people nationally knew from Memphis. And so outside, this is post Elvis, and all of that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a thing of that. There's a lot of talent, a lot of ladies who would have always seen him and fans of it, and the few that want to broach into actually trying to do it, but they know it's not going to be with turnbuckles and all that. But at least to say, hey, I rolled around on the mat, had a good time, and got to, reinvent myself as whatever character they want to do. So it's not nothing to the level of, the hardcore cat fights or street fights or anything, not nothing to that, but it's just something, you see what I'm saying? And then A lot of them are mothers now and stuff like that, and they really a lot of them the inspiration around the single mothers tournament. So I'm best case scenario, I could make a full dollhouse out of it if I get the four I really want. I could make a full dollhouse out of it. Um, but if I just had three, I could make it work with three. But if I had four,
Four will be ideal.
four would
Four
be
will be
ideal.
ideal.
I
Three,
could
three you
do
can work with, but four will be ideal
four would be ideal because for this group because
because you
I
have one
don't
match and you have two match, and the winners fight each other in the other one. So yeah,
right. I could do it like that. I'm also thinking about doing. There's one that's been wanting to do one. She's so far out of the league weight wise from everybody. Like she's
oh,
not even close.
okay,
So I don't know what I would do with her. Maybe make her a guest referee or something. And she's the most in fit and stamina, like she does CrossFit and all that. So it would be almost kind of embarrassing, kind of per se. It just wouldn't
yeah,
look right. It just skill and fitness. It just wouldn't look right. It just because these other ladies are just in a different space in life.
mm,
So it just wouldn't be a good look. I have to find something for her. She may be one I may have to fly out to fight
yeah.
like a Laura or I don't know about Amethyst. Amethyst, she's still a little too heavy for Amethyst. Um, let me put it this way. But see, you ain't seen the fight. Take somebody Kim Chi's size, but built like Laura.
Oh, okay,
That tells you now is a. You see what I'm saying? She'd be kind of hard. She's always. I knew that going in should be hard to do, but the other girls are just either physically taller and bigger. It just would not fit. I feel like giving the second guess maybe about 2 or 3 more minutes because now we're talking about literally we've now gone a full hour after because by now if you just I mean I would have thought we would have heard some kind of communication. We was hoping to hear some kind of
yeah,
communication back or something because it's been a
yeah,
full hour. If it's, you
yeah.
know,
Because we finished with I'm going to mess up her name. We
Janai.
finished with Janai. Like what time was we finished with her pretty quick? So yeah, fairly quick.
We finished because the second person was supposed to come on 10:10 Central, it was 11:10, and we finished with Janai about 13. I know we didn't go past 18. I know we didn't go past. I want to say we finished about 14 after,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was in the midst of trying to get um so I'm going to.
I'm with you. Give her another 5 minutes. She don't show up in 5 minutes. Then you're right. Then we go on to the what sidebar?
Right.
Yeah. Who's gonna be on the sidebar? Just us?
Yeah, I guess so. Unless Reagan or somebody else want to them pop in to chime in.
Okay. Knowing her, she
Yeah,
might go to bed eventually. So I don't see her coming into the sidebar. But if she wants to be in the sidebar, shoot her a message, see if she has any interest in doing that. If not, then we just move.
yeah. So we'll see. Um, yeah, because we still life goes on. So,
Yeah, yeah.
one of the things is and I mentioned this in the first segment
Mhm.
before you came on. I was telling everyone, and I still think Mike, oh yeah, Mike said Junkyard Dog. Yep, Junkyard Dog, another Memphis legend. Yes, Junkyard Dog,
Yep.
another Memphis legend. Um, but one of the things I I had mentioned and Mike chimed in on this was I had a great uncle
Mm,
who had gotten in the car. Him and my great aunt, they was coming back from church, got in the car accident. My
mm,
great aunt was fine. My great uncle was put in critical condition, was actually almost essentially brain dead.
mm,
And the doctors have said, look, if he doesn't respond or anything within 24 hours, then the family, we got to make a decision whether, and this was yesterday about 5 o'clock ish. So Eastern, so about 4 Central, because they live in Louisiana. And went through the night, got up this morning, didn't hear anything. So I'm thinking, okay, good. Still been praying and stuff like that. Um, got to about 6, 7 o'clock. I hadn't heard anything. And so I'm thinking, okay, by now I would have thought I would have heard something. Um, and then the end up happening is I got a text about 20 minutes before I started the show that that he regained consciousness. He was able to come off the ventilator and he's breathing on his own. Now he's still got a long way to go, but
yeah.
and so we were thankful for prayers and stuff like that, and continued prayers. Um, and yeah, Mike, we see here, yep, still with you. Yeah, and
Thank you.
so thank you, sir, thank you. Um, and so I was telling everyone here on the platform that those that's in your life, just love on them, and
Yep.
you never know, nothing's promised. They here today,
Yep.
going tomorrow, kind
Yep.
of thing. And I would translate that to to the ladies, with everything that that they do, putting their bodies on the line, and talked about kimchi
Yep.
coming back, and then supporting in whatever way they have with their websites, and then I started spilling into OnlyFans, where
Yep.
now with the announcement since the last show we had, the announcement
Yep.
that OnlyFans came out saying that they were going to remove all the porn,
Yep.
come October, which
I
is
read
something
that
we kind
today.
of seen that coming. Oh God, I can't remember who was it. It was somebody that's one of the far legends that's in the mixed wrestling game had talked about that back in January. I
Yeah, she
remember.
did. She talked about this a
Talk,
long time ago. Yep.
yeah, talked about, hey, we've seen it with Patreon, we've seen it
With
who
Pornhub.
with Pornhub, we've seen
See,
you. Who's not to say with OnlyFans they're gonna be the net? Because I think for a lot of people, once Pornhub did it, that almost kind of like, okay, that set, everybody else is fair game after that.
yeah.
So now, some people, you may make an argument that maybe some of these other sites got XNXX and whatever, as just, well, they're just going to continue as business as usual. But I think that they even still have to kind of understand if Pornhub can get taken down, and really why Pornhub was biggest was because of them being able to do the credit card. It's like
Mm,
your boundaries have been defined for you, and it's only a matter of time that it can be, you can come out, they can come after you, between
yeah.
the DCMA or pirated content, and it just it's just a mess. So now where do the creators go from now? So it's like no matter how you have to pick up and go, like I know for me and my website, having to go and well, we don't allow for selling and our stuff, even though it's female wrestling, it's borderline enough to where it's like, causatic um for some producers, and I mean with some of the payment processes and stuff, which is why I said sometimes I kind of wish we could have setups similar to like what our overseas counterparts been able to enjoy, like your APLs and your
Hmm.
Fighting Dolls and Fighting Divas, and before that DWW and Wrestling Monica, and
Yep.
Italian female wrestling
Yep.
IFW. That
Yep.
they're able to enjoy because their laws are like, as long as you're not promoting it to children or you got children in it, we don't care.
Exactly.
Have at it, free enterprise. So here, we're more puritanical. So
Very,
it,
very
it's like
puritanical.
you have this the sex workers always getting chased by the religious right, coming in there with crosses and stuff.
True.
Which we've talked about that. There's a
Yep.
um, yeah. So we hit the 5 minute mark? I don't know. I'll let you comment on OnlyFans. I don't know if you have any.
I did for a minute. OnlyFans, there's not much more to say. I'm not surprised like you. I kind of knew this was coming eventually because we've been warned, right? Like you said, for a minute. So there's not much more I can comment on OnlyFans. People like certain people, they know who they are. Some of our producers who are on OnlyFans, unfortunately, you're gonna have to do something else. Even Sweet Five said it's there's other sites, but what can you do? I'm not surprised. And yeah, we're
Oh,
about to hit that 5 minute mark too very soon. Also,
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, actually, we passed the five
we
minute
passed
mark,
that
so.
actually.
And I still hadn't heard anything. So,
All right,
well,
let's
one
finish
out of
this show.
two, right? 1 out of 2 isn't so bad.
One
So,
out of two is not terrible. So
yeah,
yes, my name,
one out of.
as everyone knows, is Clement. Right now, I got about a few more weeks before I'll be back on people. I'll be back on social media soon. Soon enough. It's moving quicker than I thought, but I'll be on eventually.
Mm.
So anything you want to tell the people before I close
I
this for good?
still have the Instagram at Clawsweb, Twitter at Clawsweb, CLAWSWB. I still have the Instagram. Depending on depending on what happens the next. Today's the 24th. Well, now we're in the 24th. At least for me, I'm
Yeah,
on the
24
Eastern
for you.
time zone. Depending on what happens the next 5 to 6 weeks, that
Yep.
whether I would definitively still have the Instagram or not, depending
Mm.
on how basically the 2 amethyst fights that we have set up, depending on how that rolls out, um, is whether we even just keep that or just go straight Twitter and then just kill off IG altogether.
Mm.
Again, because I'm not getting much out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus watching versus, but now I can do that on Triller. So, um,
True.
well, a lot of it, like I said, I only created it for the girls who wanted on there, and they've been so far long gone.
Yep.
And it's like nobody else is really want to come to manage it, and stuff. And so I was like, what else are we gonna do with it? It's just sitting there. So, nah.
So
And
yes,
plus,
guys.
and one more thing, and plus,
But
because now it's on my Facebook, and Facebook left the sour taste in our mouth with how they treat us. So I don't want to be the day I wake up and then I find out, oh, the Instagram is gone, because I'd rather shut down on my own volition
yep,
than to have it where I let them shut us down. I'm out
correct.
for what even though we wouldn't even have anything posted up there for that, because to me, it's kind of like, I'd rather just have a matchup picture and just be like, boom, that's it. If you want trailers and all that, we ain't putting that on Instagram. You got to go somewhere else to find that. Yeah.
Yep. With that being said, guys, I want to thank the people. I want to thank our guest,
Janae.
Janae. Janai. Sorry, I want to thank my. We want to thank Janai for coming in. We want to thank Reagan for at least getting one person on. At least we got one guest, so that's good. Good
One in
questions by Mike
impossible. It
and
was
Sweet
almost,
Fights.
it was almost like Spades when you have a hand. It was like one in the possible, because he made it to the
So
back door backstage, but we couldn't get it on the
again,
stage fast enough,
again
I
to
guess.
run the show again. The next show will be September 13th, Tuesday, September 13th. So
Yes.
make sure you check that out. We'll see. We'll see if we have any guests or anything interesting of note.
Yes,
Maybe
because
that
I would
day.
like to see, depending on again how all the fights go on the 30th, 31st, trying to see what's the fallout from that. And yeah, and then by then we should have awesome cat fights. We should be able to still I don't think
Yep.
that would get lost in the shuffle. We
Oh,
still
it will
have
not.
that
It will not be.
the review,
No way.
and we will still have. So we should have, even if we have no guests, we should still have a lot of topics to cover, because we'll have at that point 4 different things to cover, and hopefully I still be in some kind of state of being, because again it'll be the day after. The toughest days from a producer is the day you shoot, or really that night, especially if you do it late, and then the day after, because
Yeah.
you're still gaining your energy. So,
Yep. Like I said, from the
oh,
parts unknown, like I said, the second Monday and second and fourth Fridays, again, I'm repeating myself, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, 8:30 Central Time, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time or West Coast Time. Uh, that's it from us today, man. We covered a lot of things today. So, for my partner in crime, Claus Webb, for myself, Clement Okufo, we are out of here. Peace, everybody. Have a blessed rest of your night.
all right.